Hello YouTube, Freddie Cardona here. Welcome back to a special edition of Driving and the News. This particular video will be the very first Driving in the News with the very first day of FM broadcasting of 1010 Wins. So without further ado, I have 92.3 queued up and let's see how it sounds.
1010 Wins reporter Eileen LaPalmer is on rat patrol. Step one of checking rat bait stations, kicking them.
Rats have sonic hearing, very sensitive.
Benito Camacho of Positive Pest Management has been doing this for 14 years, currently hired by the owner of a brownstone on the Upper East Side. He says the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene will give you heavy fines if they see evidence of rats.
One can make the mess of 10 rats, and they'll give you 10 tickets for one.
But the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene does not do proactive weekly or monthly extermination like Camacho does. Instead, they are complaint-based, which means you need to call 311. I met Grizel in her business on the Lower East Side, a dead rat the size of my shoe outside on the sidewalk. She says she hasn't called 311 about these rats because she says nothing happened when she complained about the ones near her Bronx home.
You never saw an exterminator come?
No, they never did. No, the problem's still there.
Eileen LaPalmer, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. Wins News Time 5:31. Time now for traffic and transit with Greg Rice.
Now, Lori, big trouble continues in Brooklyn, eastbound Belt Parkway, Erskine Street. A couple of right lanes are out where they crashed. Fire trucks are still there, which means they're needed. And you got the crash as well. So everybody slow on the eastbound Belt from the Verrazano to Erskine Street. Westbound loads up from Farmers Boulevard right on down towards the area of Erskine Street with everybody getting nosy. And then after you deal with that, you deal with Staten Island and all that westbound company all the way from the Verrazano to the West Shore Expressway. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Citybound side of the George Washington Bridge is fine. Northbound west side, you got the stubborn stall sitting in the right lane getting up towards the area of the 120s, and that's why it's so slow from the Intrepid. Mess after that from the 150s on up, and there is no easy way out of town. Lincoln 20 to 30 in, 30 to 45 out, 40 to 60 at the outbound Holland. Inbound side of the Holland Tunnel, 30 minutes from the Skyway, much better off the Newark Bay extension of the New Jersey Turnpike. Eastbound Long Island Expressway to Little Neck Parkway, ward of a crash, and it's bad all the way back to the Queens Midtown Tunnel on the eastbound Long Island Expressway. Southbound Meadowbrook still slows from the northern state down to the southern state, but the earlier crash that caused it to get so bad, well, that's finally gone. And if you're in a jam, call the Barnes Firm traffic tip line at 844-JAM-1010. That's 844-JAM-1010. Traffic sponsored by the Barnes Firm. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
I'm attorney Rich Barnes. If you've been in a car crash, choosing the right firm is crucial to get the help you need and the best result possible.
The Barnes Firm, injury attorneys, call 1-800-8-million.
Manhattan, Long Island.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here is meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Well, Lori, it's going to be brisk and chillier as we head into tonight after what's been a beautiful day. Temperatures have gone well into the 60s, but we'll drop to 45 tonight in the city under a clear sky. We'll get into the 30s inland. Sunshine and some clouds for tomorrow. So we will see some clouds mix in, and it's going to be a little cooler tomorrow, especially when the breeze is blowing. High 58 tomorrow. Mainly clear tomorrow night, low 44 in the city and nearby suburbs, 30s in most outlying areas. Pretty nice weekend. A lot of sunshine Saturday, a high of 61. Sunshine will mix with maybe even fade behind clouds by late Sunday, a high of 62. Then heading into Halloween on Monday, we expect more clouds and probably even a few showers, especially during the afternoon and at night. Monday's high 64. 63 and sunny right now in Midtown. We're heading down to 45 tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
For pure driving pleasure, it's hard to beat a Porsche certified pre-owned vehicle from Ray Catena Porsche. Choose from an excellent selection in stock and special financing too. Visit Ray Catena Porsche in Edison. Offered to well-qualified buyers with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Wins News Time 5:34. The subway blowing out 118 candles this year. And to mark the milestone, transit officials rode the rails today. With them was our Samantha Liebman.
Richard Davey riding the trains, getting advice.
I've been on the job 5 months. Any advice for me?
Do your best. Good luck.
How do you think he's doing?
I get to work safe every day, so that's enough.
But the perception of high crime keeping riders away. Nearly 4 million rode the system Wednesday, still below pre-pandemic levels, with major felonies up 42% over last year as of September. While the mayor and governor announced an expanded safety plan, cops, cameras, and care, the MTA quietly hired unarmed security guards for 6 stations to stop fare beaters and hopefully some criminals. Davey explained how it works.
They'll make sure the door closes. Sometimes there's a pretty significant delay, and there'll just be a physical barrier and say, stop the customer trying to come in and say, please, come around and pay.
He says in just a few weeks, they've already made a difference. Samantha Leapman, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM at the 72nd Street Q station.
The city's getting an assist from the National Guard when it comes to caring for the thousands of migrants who have been sent here.
Considerable stress and strain on shelter staff is what has led to this. The National Guard members at least 8 city shelters so far, according to our sources, but they're not there for security or social services, but to help with things like food distribution. And Jacqueline Simone's policy director for the Coalition for the Homeless, I asked her, at least early in the process here, do they have any concerns?
Initially, we do have some concerns that the presence of large numbers of people in military uniforms might be triggering or make certain people feel uncomfortable, particularly in single adult shelter facilities.
Now, how many National Guard's troops will be here and how long they'll stay is still unclear. I'm Glenn Shuck, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Lower Manhattan.
The latest masterpiece to be targeted by climate activists in Europe is a famous Vermeer, the girl with a pearl earring. The painting wasn't damaged. It's protected by glass. A man glued his head to the enclosure. A second activist glued his hand to the wall. A can of tomato soup went flying. They were wearing Just Stop Oil t-shirts. Previous protests targeted Van Gogh's sunflowers in London and a Monet in Germany. Wednesday News Time, 5:36. No YouTube stunt here. Mr. Beast may need a trophy case. 1010 Wins. Entertainment is next.
Your bills are due on the 13th, but you don't get paid until the 15th. Sound familiar? Life doesn't always wait for payday. Get the NetSpend All Access account for your everyday mobile banking needs and get paid up to 2 days faster with direct deposit. Get started today at netspend.com and go beyond banking. Banking services provided by an account established by Pathward NA member FDIC. Faster access based on comparison of our ACH processing policy versus posting funds and settlement. Deposit account opening is subject to registration and ID verification. Terms and costs apply.
Today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a maximum tax deduction and a vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Wednesday's time, 5:38. Now, 1010 Wins Entertainment, sponsored by Renewal by Anderson. Mr. Beast won't have to invent this one.
I recreated Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in real life. And one of these 10 people is going to walk away with this chocolate factory.
The YouTube star leads the pack in nominations for the Streamy Awards, the best in YouTube videos. Other nominees include Post Malone, Hailey Bieber, and Dwayne Johnson. The Streamies will be, yes, live streamed on December 4th. Kelsey Ballerini will be among those celebrating the Judds. Ballerini, Brandi Carlile, and others will join Winona Judd for the CMT special called The Judds Love is Alive, the final concert with the stars rotating in the late Naomi Judd spot. The show expected to air next year. Wednesday's time, 5:39.
Renewal by Anderson just extended their BOGO 50 deal one more week. Before November 6th, buy one window, patio door, or entry door, and get your next one 50% off. That's 50% off.
Well, there you have it. The very first broadcast on this channel on 92.3. They did start at 8:50 in the morning, but I was at work. I couldn't do it then. So this would be the very first one. And how about those YouTube awards? Hey, maybe I can try to get one, right? Yeah, right. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this very first 92.3 broadcast for Driving and the News. And I gotta say, it sounds amazing, that's for sure. I know that at times I'm still going to want to go back to the AM and get that AM feel, if you know what I mean. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next Driving and the News video.